Okay. Well, welcome back to, I guess you might call it 2Perception prop department. Today we're going to be working on our new models for our Crimson Throne campaign coming up. Be doing them one at a time, and this is going to be the first one we do. This is going to be John Tiller. Nice, happy-go-lucky guy here. Looks like he's just raring to go. Got his spear here on his back. Got a scythe here, which I'm sure he probably took from his work shed. Got a sword on his end, and he's just raring to go, ready to go ahead and get into level 1 Rusty Shank adventures here. So this should be really fun. Now, as far as he goes here, he's going to be real happy, real bright. We'll have a lot of bright colors on him here. But the first thing we're going to want to do is put a little bit of a base coat on him here. And this is going to be so that if we have to patch him up, first off, it's going to let our contrast paints work wonders, because contrast paints are cheating, and I'm not above cheating. It's going to really nicely let us patch it up really easily, because we can just patch it up with the same base coat. So we're just going to go ahead and start getting this base color on here. Now, Hero Forge, when you order minis directly from them, will send you them all primed with this gray primer. And gray primer is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with gray primer. I've used plenty of gray primer for models, but if we're going to use contrast paint, which will make our lives significantly easier, we're going to want to have a much lighter undercoat. Hence why we're going to put this stuff down. Kind of make sure that we get some good coverage here. Now, you might wonder, hey Nick, why don't you just go and spray paint these models white? And that way, they're already white, and you don't have to worry about going and redoing the entire base coat with a brush when you sit down to paint them. And that's a pretty good idea, honestly, and certainly one that I've done before. But you do run into a little bit of trouble if you wind up having to repair something, because the white color you get out of your spray paint is going to be a little bit different from the white color that's available to you in any of these paint pots you see here. Which is fine if you get everything right first go, but I am not a professional painter. I am simply a well-experienced amateur, so I'm pretty sure that the odds of me going through an entire mini, painting everything, getting everything all looking up, and then deciding that I like it and don't want to fix anything, or just don't screw anything up, what I'm trying to do, is, not great, and certainly not something that would make me a betting man on. So, by putting this coat over, it basically means not only do I get the undercoat to be nice and bright, I'm also able to easily patch it with this same color. And since contrast paints work by using the undertone, the base coat's tone, to create their brightness and their shades, if you get the tone wrong, if it's different, like if I had spray painted it, for example, and then I tried to patch it with this color, this Uthen Gray, right? Unless I had a can of Uthen Gray and I spray painted it that, then I would be able to just patch it from the pot. But I don't have that. I would be using something like Krylon white, which would look fine, but then if I had to patch it and then paint it with gray, it's going to look different, and we don't want that. We want it to look nice and smooth if and when I screw it up. That way the patch comes through nice and pretty, and we don't have to worry about having uneven colors or anything like that. That would just make me cringe every time I looked at the model. All right, just touching up any holes here. Now, another thing you could do is I could just go buy a spray paint, a can of Uthen Gray. These are made by Citadel, which is the paint company that does Games Workshop models. And they actually have a pretty good paint range, I have to say. They've got some really cool stuff. Their contrast lines being the most recent addition to that really just changes how you can paint with them. It just really makes it very, very nice to paint with them, because it just basically takes two of the most boring steps out of your painting process and squishes them into one, which is really, really nice. You can do a better job doing old school highlighting if you were to just highlight them and build the colors up like you normally would in the olden days before fancy contrast paints existed. But what comparison videos don't generally talk about is that you can contrast paint, and then you can do layers on top of the contrast paints, which make it work really nicely, and you can basically get the best of both worlds. So you can get like a nice easy base coat plus initial layers of highlighting and shading. Get it super quick, make it look really nice, and then you can touch it up with highlights to make it look even better. And that is the magic that we're going to talk about here. So this guy looks pretty well covered. Yeah, pretty happy with that. So we're going to let him dry, and I might put another base coat over it, or I might just go, depending on how unevenly. I'm already noticing on the flat areas here a little bit of unevenness, but that actually just might work to the way that I want it, because it kind of already starts shading it. So I might just leave it as is. We'll see about it. Anyway, I'm going to let this fully dry, and then I'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and this looks like it's dried up nicely. It didn't really do too much evenly covering this. Oh, geez, missed a spot on the back there. So I think, for the most part, I think it'll be fine, but I will touch it up just a little bit here. So just a quick little dab on the butt of the side right there, and nice light little coating to try to get the scythe blade a little smooth. There we go. The rest of the texture isn't too bad. It's just these big flat surfaces where it really kind of matters, but other than that, I'm pretty happy with it. And while that's drying, we can just go ahead and start painting a different part of the model. So, looking over here, I've got a little reference image here. So there's going to be, it's going to have the nice earth brown undertones here, kind of starting in the like the boots and the pants area. Rivets over here will kind of break up all of the brown and make it look nice. I'm trying to work with a few different tones of brown too, to kind of, again, try to keep it from just looking like a brown mess. But when we get up to the shirt and the sash, I think we'll do something brighter. I think bright colors, kind of talk about John Tiller's great and optimistic, go get him, let's get this taken care of. Look at that. Something to go with this pose. So let's go ahead and start. So I've got Skeleton Horde. This actually makes a really nice sort of almost like a khaki type. So I'll probably use that for the pants. And then there's another one, a darker brown, which I'm sure I have not forgotten where it is. Here it is. Snakebite leather. And I've got yet another one called Gore Gruntifer. And to be perfectly honest with you, I actually don't remember what the difference is between these things. I'm going to think the leather should be darker, because usually a finish on leather tends to be oiled. You tend to oil leather. So I'm imagining this is going to be darker. So I'm going to try this out on the boots and see what we get. just grab some of this. Let's see how these boots work out here. We're kind of getting into the niceties here of contrast paints. Just paint it right over that base coat. And the undercoat, the white undercoat, will shine on through to give us all of this nice texture here that we got going on. Oops, back here you. All right. Okay. All right, so snakebite leather contrast paint kind of gives us this sort of it's almost like a honey colored leather. Oh no, actually it's pretty nice. I kind of like it. It's pretty. Let's see. Let's do an experiment here. He's got a belt pouch. I'm gonna have to paint some kind of brown. Let's try the. What do I do with it? There it is. Let's try this Gore Grunta fur on the belt pouch and see how that. Let's see what that comes out as. Maybe it'll be a different color. So there's his pouch right there on his waistband. We'll just. See what we're working with here. Okay, so it's kind of like a deeper, richer kind of color. Kind of more bronze to a lighter color there. So my initial suspicion that snakebite leather was actually going to be the darker color was wrong. The Gore Grunta is actually darker. So then the question becomes, which do I like better for boots? I think I'm going to keep the snakebite for now. No, because if I'm going khaki, I'm going to want this to go, and I'm going to want this to contrast as much as possible. So I'm going to do Gore Grunta for the boots. So remember back when I said that we were going to go over everything because we were going to, in case I made a mistake or decided to change my mind about something, it pays off already. I'll just hit the other boot. And probably what I'll do is, oh yeah, no, I'm liking this way better already. So probably what I'll do is I will let that dry, go back over it with the Uthen Gray, and then I will hit it with our Gore Grunta fur. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, it looks way better. I'm not actually, I might swap the belt pouch for the lighter leather cover instead of the deeper color here. We'll see. I also noticed that he has a band around his thigh here. I might take that opportunity to break this up because this is going to be khaki. So let's go ahead and get that khaki, which is called Skeleton Horde, but really we know that this is like the greatest freaking khaki cloth that exists. Because interestingly enough, skeletons are something you're either not really painting any of or painting an awful lot of. So, which we're not really doing in this instance. So let's see here, put that on there. Yeah, this real pretty. This nice khaki color here. going to bleed a little bit in there, but I don't mind. That should be fine. Yeah, and that thigh strap there is going to get hit, but that's okay because I can go back over it later and get it the color that I want. Beautiful. Yeah, and we can already see, oops, that's fine. We can already see the contrast sticks out way better here than it does over here. So yeah, definitely the darker color boot is a better option. Alrighty, so working our way up, I'll let that dry. We're getting up to his shirt. Now we're going to start getting into kind of brighter colors here. So probably we'll go with like a blue. My thought is like a blue for the shirt here. Sash will be red, kind of like going off the color concept from the picture that got posted up in the Discord and on Twitter. I'll try to stick with that because I think that color scheme works really nicely. Unfortunately, I'm going to have this thing where the scythe butt clips into the sword here. Let me see if I can show you what we got going on. Yeah, so that's basically all one piece, which is ignorable at the moment, but is gonna, my challenge in painting it is gonna make sure that doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. So let's get to it. So I've got this ultramarines blue, which should be fairly deep, which is fine because then I can highlight it up from there. So let's see how this comes out. All right, so yeah, basically a pretty deep blue color, but the contrast keeps it from going and becoming too overwhelming here. Kind of get on the inside. Make sure I delineate where that sash is and where the shirt is. Oh dear. Gotta be careful I don't get, did I get brown in, I don't know. Let's not risk it. Last thing I want to do is contaminate a paint pot with brown. All right, there we go, fresh brush. Just get in there. Okay, cool. So the sash lines, we want to keep those as clean as we can. Yeah, see, we're getting almost like this grayish blue here, which is fine because we can brighten that up by adding in some of this stuff and just kind of picking out some highlights. So get this shirt done. Good old John Tiller. He dresses to impress when he's going out doing something important. All right. Try to get around those gloves there. Okay, I gotta kind of run the Death Star trench run here, trying to get in. I would really like it to focus. There we go. Tag the sash. Dang it, didn't want to do that. It's okay. It's okay. We can fix it. We can fix it. Nice thing about painting is you can always fix it. You know, to a point. To a point, you can fix it. All right, there we go. Get under the mantle. Yeah, you start worrying about all these weapons and everything going every which way, getting around them can be a challenge sometimes. Some people will design and build models with painting them in mind. So they will be like, you know, I want to make sure that I've got room to get in there with a brush and to make sure that I can get this looking nice. I don't have areas that are too close together because then, you know, the paint will stick to both sides and it'll look bad. And then there are other people who are saying, I just want the model to look the way I want it, and I will worry about painting it later. Or worry about how Nick will paint it later. And it's fine. They're both valid. I can entirely understand. I've been on both sides of the fence before. For my own models, too, so. No judgment. All right. Looks pretty decent. I'm gonna kind of get in there. Let's see if I can do that without getting any blue mixed with brown. Not the end of the world, because I'm just gonna wash it off anyway. In fact, that's definitely what's gonna happen, but that's fine. I'm just gonna wash it off anyway. All right. Look at that. That's ugly. All right, wash the brown off. Get some more of this. A little bit more. There we go. All right, let's try to thread the needle here. So we're just going to go. Come on, come on. Yeah. Looks better. And it doesn't matter if I get it onto these weapon halves because I can clean that up later when I actually get to painting them. All right, cool. So far, so good. Not bad. Alrighty, so we're done with this. And let's get to red. Get this nice bright red sash here. Nicely break the model up, make it pop. Look real nice. Alright. So a little bit over there. That's okay, we can fix it. Just gonna grab another brush, not drop it on the floor, soak that up. Ah, it's beautiful. Decisive action solves all problems. There we go. And I'm gonna come back in and hit that that loop and pin with a metallic, probably a brass, something warm to go well with the red. And did I get any blue in there? I don't think I did. Just a little light. Heavy it up a little bit. Okay. There we go. And if I look right there, I can see some. But the question is, if I try to get it, am I just going to make things worse? Let me see if I can get it from this side. Hey, that worked. That worked. Still a little bit, it's kind of a lot of ink just kind of pooling there, and that's just going to flow and cause a bunch of trouble. So let's see if I can just kind of soak it up with a brush, get it out of there, and then try a different brush here. It's not so wet. Okay, a little bit too much, but that's all right. All right. Well, I'm just gonna let that dry. I'm just gonna let that dry and go back over it later. All right, cool. So moving on, I think this is, yeah, it's pretty dry right there. Grab this again. We're going to hit that boot. I think that was the sound of the paint pot closing by itself. Yep. Stay open. Stay. Okay. Gotta be harsh with them sometimes. All right, back to what we're doing. Clean up, clean up, clean up. Yoop. And this base is going to look absolutely awful, but that's okay because the last thing that we do is paint the base. Make the base look nice and pretty. Now the base actually doesn't have any features on it, so probably what we'll do is we'll paint it up and then we'll flock it to get it to look pretty, get some grass effects on there or something like that. That way we kind of show John Tiller, the man of the earth that he is. Who, over many years of working his farm, has gotten curiously effective with his farming implements. We'll let that boot dry. Go on to another part of the model. All right, so coming up here, we've got a few things. We've got the breastplate here. We've got the mantle. It's not really a cloak. It's really more like a mantle. He's wearing a mantle over his stuff. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit his face. I'm going to hit his skin tone down because that's pretty deep, and I'd rather not have to try to dodge painted surfaces while trying to paint that. So we'll start with this. This is another contrast. We will see how this gets it for us here. This looks really dark, and I don't actually remember what tone this is going to be, so I might have to paint it up and lighten it up later. Let's see. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Nice deep, rich color. Which, for a man who works outside all the time, pretty darn reasonable, I'd say. We can kind of see that. Start to pick out the facial features already. All right, trying to get in here. John has a very long neck. Look at that neck. That's a long neck. All right. Get in there, you. And get his ear. Man is ready. Look at him go. Look at that expression. All right. Ease up on the hairline a little bit there. There we go. Painting with contrast paints is kind of similar to watercolor. If you've ever painted with watercolor as a kid, because you can't really paint over things with contrast very easily. Oh yeah, I totally messed his hair up there. Sideburns right here. I'll fix it later. You can't really paint over contrast easily because everything shows through with contrast. But the bright side being that as long as it's not dry, you can kind of move it around and lighten the color up yourself. Different advantages, I guess. And that neck gutter there has a ton of ink in it. See if I can't pull some of that out so it dries a little quicker. Maybe just a little. Wipe that off on a paper towel. Just go back in. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That should help. All right, cool. Moving on. We've got his breastplate right here. And we've got his mantle. So we're going to lighten this shirt up. So we're probably going to want to keep the mantle kind of dark. I've actually got this. This will be good for a base, I think. It'll be kind of a dull. I've also got this though. I'm going to try orc flesh. Someone who doesn't play a lot of orcs. I have this pot, and I haven't really used much of it. Oh, geez, my fingers are wearing the paint off the spearhead. It'll be fine. I'll paint that metallic anyway. All right, let's see how that orc flesh works. Just close you. I'm gonna spoil one of these. They make a mess if you do. Come on. First time opening it. Oh man, that's a ooh, that was almost a mess. All right, let's see what this vibrant green looks like here. Let's see here. Ooh, that's pretty. That's pretty. Might be too bright. Yeah, this is working out. I'll run with this for now. I imagine it'll be pretty happy. Oh boy, here we go. Little speckle white right there. Guarded by the spear haft. Ah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, that looks nice. Definitely need to lighten this shirt up, but I think we're doing pretty good. All right, close you. Good job, orc flesh. I like you. You are pretty color. All right. I think you're dry. Yeah, you're dry. Where is it? Here we go. Gorgrunta. As I like to call it, boots. Fix, fix, fix. There we go. This looks better. This looks better. Nice. Very nice. Okay. Now, he's got himself some gauntlets. And these are like, I might have the idea of them being leather working gloves, but they've definitely got some reinforced plating built into them. So Mr. John Tiller is no fool. He knows proper equipment for the right job. So I'm probably going to hit his gauntlets with this Gorgrunta too, to kind of show that deep, well-oiled, reinforced leather. And that'll kind of sell the contrast of the brighter shirt. That's going to happen. It's going to happen, I promise you. There we go. contrast is so nice. Oh boy. I got to thread the needle on that one. All right. All right, I got this. I got this. I can do it. All right, here we go. Just get in there. And is that a sleeve? That's the line of the gauntlet. Right there. Okay. Whew. There we go. And okie dokie. Wipe off the excess here. Nice, nice. Oh, dropped it. Back here, you. I see that the shirt is pretty much dry right now, so I'm going to take a quick break, and I'm going to touch up that white spot on the back of the shirt. That way it has as much time to dry as possible before I have to start hitting it with lighter blue colors. Awfully confident of myself sealing that pot back up. I think I'll be all right. Nice. And I did bleed over a little bit. Can I fix that with this? It's, that's actually passable. Yeah, that was actually a decent patch. All right, I'm happy with that. All right, cool. Back to our friend Gore Grunta. God, that name. Gore Grunta for goodness gracious. You know what? It's better than mud brown, right? Better than mud brown. Ooh, while I'm thinking about it, before I forget, I hit this leg strap. There we go. There we go. There we go. Breaks up the lines nicely. And let's get his gauntlet, his other gauntlet. Doo, 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 doo. Get in there. Whew, deep crevice on that one. Alrighty. Here we go. And nice. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, looking good, looking good. Now his hair is going to be something interesting because he's got kind of a sandy thing going on. It's sort of a... And I got this here, Nasdaq yellow, and I am very interested to see how it comes out. But first, I need to touch up his sideburns over here, and when you hear touch up, it's time for Uthan Gray. And it's not going to look weird, because we hit the whole model with it at the beginning. Let's wipe that. I'm not sure I don't need that much. Uh-oh, piece of plastic. Let's see here. We got this bit. It's kind of hard to see. Where are we going? We're going right here. Okay. Looks good. Just another little hit up here because I've been holding him by his head this whole time, so some of that paint's worn away. Might as well hit the edge on this spear too. There we go. Alrighty. So I'll try to hold him by the base from now on. Actually, didn't I have a handle specifically designed to hold models? I did. What did I do with it? Are you in my side drawer? Nope, not that one. What about this one? Not that. Oh. Right in front of my eyes. Alrighty. Much nicer. Alright. Now that I've got that going, hopefully I won't go and ruin that hairstyle anymore. Alright, so let's try to get that sword. So, most swords would probably just have steel all around, but we're going to go ahead and do some nice contrast there. We'll have, do I want a leather wrapped hilt? There's already a lot of leather on the model. Maybe I'll do wire and do a wire wrapped hilt, copper or brass. Yeah, we'll try that out. I'll hit that blade first. So this is a darker metal color. I'm probably going to use this for the farming implements, and I'll use something a bit brighter for the sword blade. I think, yeah, this one. Stay. Pretty back. Alrighty. How's this look? This looks like it needs to be stirred up a lot. I am not about to go put that on that model. Give me just a minute. I got an old brush. Yeah, I got an old brush. There we go. There we go. Still nice and liquid. Don't have to worry about trying to reconstitute anything, but just needed a bit of a stir up. All right. Wash that paint off the brush handle there. All clean. Back over there. Had that brush for so long, that's basically all I use it for at this point. All right. Now, much better looking. Much better looking. That's the consistency I want. Hey, look, it actually looks like paint. Perfect. All right. Let's see here. We're going to go for blade. Again, here's our lovely trick here. We've got to make the blade stick out in such a way that you know what, actually I'm having second thoughts about the darker metal paint for the farming implements. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit them all with this, and then I'll just put a heavy oil wash over it. So we'll get the cross guard. I know it's popular to paint cross guards with a brass color because, you know, I watched Sword in the Stone as a kid growing up too, but generally if you've got a part of your weapon that's going to be taking blows in place of your hand, you're going to want it to be pretty stiff, and so probably made of steel instead of something softer. So something at least as hard as the weapons it's going to be catching. So we're going to give him a steel crossguard. There we go. Steel crossguard, steel blade, obviously. Oh my god, I gotta get a brush in there. Alright, we can do this. Let me thin this paint out a bit so I get a thinner point. Thinner than that. And not with a piece of plastic stuck to it. Alright. Let's see what I got here. In you go, in you go. Oh, geez, I got it all over the gauntlet. Dang it. Alright, that's fine, that's fine. I'll patch it up later. Patch it up later. This clipping effect here. Definitely going to be interesting to see how it comes out. Thread the needle a bit. All right, cool. Got it. All right, so let's just go ahead and hit our farming implements here. Steel spearhead. It's actually going to be interesting to see a scythe actually used on the tabletop in an actual fight. I'll be very interested to see how it behaves. My suspicions is that it will not behave too terribly usefully, but we shall see. We shall see. Okay. Nice. And of course our scythe blade, very impressive. Many a stalk of wheat has met its end at the hands of this scythe. I suppose at the hands of John Tiller, who's wielding said scythe. Come on. Come on, get me finished. Okay, you know what? I'm just determined to make it a little weird like that, aren't you? Just go through here, and that'll be a wooden half sticking out the top, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. And we will, cool. Just get his breastplate now. The whole thing for now. We'll see how it looks. Might break it back up later and see. All right. And last thing is I'm going to hit that hair with this Nasdrak yellow. Which, have I ever used this? Let me see. See if I've ever used this before. Yeah, I've used it before. Too bad I don't remember what it looks like. But let's find out. Oh, well that's actually really nice looking. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. By being a little heavier, we add more brown into the recesses and give this kind of a more of a sandy look than say like a super vibrant blonde. I might actually go over it again with a another layer of ink to try to dim it down a bit more, but that's looking pretty good right there. Nice. Very nice. Nice. Okay. Pretty happy with that. All right. So, got more stuff to do on it, but I think I'm going to wait for this to dry. So I'm going to pause this and let it dry, and I will be right back. Okay, things should be pretty dry by now. So, let's go and fix that darn glove. I'm pretty sure that silver is going to be bright enough. I should just be able to go right over it. Maybe. It's let me be lazy. I'll take it. Ha ha ha. All right, great. All right. Now we've got the leather frog that's holding the sword. Which, interestingly enough, I don't think there's any actual historical precedent for that existing. But you know what? It's cool, so we don't mind. Do I want to go Gorgrunta? Been using it for everything else. Maybe Snakebite. Let's see how the Snakebite looks. I really want to find a use for that. Kind of that paler brown color. Let's see how you come out. Yeah, that looks good. And wire hilt? I was doing a wire hilt, right? I think I was doing a wire hilt. So, this should do the trick. Skull Crusher Brass. This makes a really nice, deep, rich, very rich color. You still, let's make sure that hasn't gone all liquidy. Yeah, no, that'll work. That'll work. I can do with that. All right. And steel pommel? Yeah, probably steel pommel. And as for the breastplate, I think we can use this brass to kind of pick out the plate a bit better here. So, let's see if I can get this outline good. I think I want that to be a little thinner. Let's go and there we go. Maybe I just paint the whole top thing. Yeah, here we go. There we go. Looks pretty good. I'll do some ink to kind of deepen this out and keep the shadows looking good, but that'll work. All right. Nice. Let's go back to this. Oops. we've got some rivets to pick out here. There we go. All right, that'll look nice. Pick out some there. Get the pommel be a little bit better here. And right around there. Okay, cool. That sword's looking just about ready for ink. The hafts here, we have some support rings that probably need to be painted, but I'm going to need to get brown on this thing first before I do that. So let's do that. We'll start with just something like this, I think. Just a nice solid brown here. There we go. Again, have to try very hard. There we go. I think that works. And I'm just going to hit these metal fittings anyway, just for the sake of completeness, and I'll get them later. Honestly, I'm not sure a scythe really needs to have a butt cap at all. After all, this is a farming implement. Flip this upside down here. A little bit of water here, thin this paint out. There we go. Looking pretty decent. And we're going to have the end of the thing right there. There we go. Yeah, we've got all these rings. Got a ring support, and a ring on the butt, and I think there's another ring at the bottom here. Honestly, they don't really make any sense to be there, but they do kind of add some detail to the prop, so I suppose it's not all bad. All right, there we go. Oh, shit. And I just dropped the brush. All right. So unfortunately, kind of messed that up a bit. I'll have to go back over there and fix it. The other thing to consider is we have the spear, and the spear is also a wooden haft, but I don't want it to just look like a brown X. So I'm going to use a lighter color brown for the spear haft. Maybe it's made out of a lighter colored wood, something along those lines. Let me see if this looks decent. Yeah, we'll start with this. Again, kind of this more honey-colored wood. This is an older style pot that does not have something to keep it open, which is inconvenient to say the least. I'll scoop out a bunch on the palette. Oh boy, way too much paint on that brush. I'll wash it off a little bit. Way too much paint on my brush. Oh, that's the back side of the pouch. Crud. Yeah, I'll figure out what to do about that in a little bit. Here we go. In hindsight, I probably should have painted the spear that was under first, so I didn't risk messing up the over prop, but I think I pretty much got away with it. There we go. And get in there just a little bit more. And I think that's a decent angle for it. All right. Nice. We've got the basics down. All right. Good stuff. So that's step one. Step two is going to be trying to add some layers here, ink wash where we have to kind of get the depth a bit better where we like it. These gauntlets, I could put some plate. I should put some plate in those gauntlets. Let's do that. And then adding some highlights where it needs to be, just to kind of make the model really pop and look a lot better. Because while contrast paints do a fine job, they do not solve all the problems. Yeah, here we go. A leather wrapped steel plate there on the back there. Okay. So, first things first, let's talk about that shirt. We're going to go build some highlights in with it, with this stuff. Okay, and whoa, that's pretty. Oh, is that a bubble? Okay, that's a bubble. All right. Where this really dried out. Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. Perfectly workable. All right. So we're just going to go try to pick out the highlights of the cloth here. So right there. Right there. Pick out the bottom edge. And this is going to look really stark up close, but at a distance, it will look perfectly fine. be able to see everything, and it will really pop out. There we go. Come around to the back here. Go. See if I can. And the really nice thing about contrast paints is because of the way they flow around, you can see where the highlights are really easily because they're already partially highlighted, which makes it really easy to just take them up a level instead of having to squint through a solid base coat trying to figure out where your highlights are. The contrast paint kind of does that for you. Just follow the ridge of the sleeve. Get a little bit up here, slight wrinkles, which is perfect. And we've got some stuff going on under there, but it's all in shadow because it's underneath the halves of the weaponry, so I'm not going to worry about it. Also, I don't want to screw anything else up. Beautiful. Got a little bit here. Got a little bit here. Again, getting kind of into the crook of the elbow here, so there's not going to be a lot of highlighting. We can get a little bit here. Let's see if I can thread the needle. There we go. There we go. That's looking way better. Clean that up a little bit. There we go. Much better. As for the green, we can take that up a notch too. We can use this stuff. If we wanted to take it up even brighter, we could even use yellow, but I don't want to go too yellow because his hair is there right next to it, which is already pretty yellow. It's going to have a yellow highlight, so I don't want to create that blending effect. I've got them nice and distinct, which is how I want them. I don't want to start blending them together. So as it is, we'll just, wow, you know, actually it's not really noticeably that much brighter, to be honest with you. That orc flesh stuff really, yeah, that's actually not appreciably that different. All right, well, I won't go too crazy with this then, since it doesn't really fix too much. It just kind of makes the highlight a little bit richer. It doesn't make it brighter per se. All right, well, fair enough. I'll just use it to kind of warm up the color palettes then, instead of actually brightening them. Okay. All right, next up, you've got that belt there. Close this. And that belt, we've got that red. So you can take red up with a pink. I don't want to do that. It's going to be a little bit too much, I think. I do this. This is very vibrant. I'll try it. We'll try this and see if this is any good. Now this is fun because the tab for my thumb broke off, so I'm going to have to use my fingernails here and try not to get it everywhere. There we go. Guess we'll just get rid of that. Yeah, very vibrant red. This should be good for a highlight. We'll see how it comes out, of course. But alrighty. Just grab some view right under the cap here. Get it kind of smooth to a point. Let's see about this sash here. We'll just man, it's really not that different. Man, the contrast paint really, I can't really complain too much about it. It's doing its job. It's doing its job. I'll try to touch up this back part here. Got a little messy, and I think I can do it with this. Might be a little bit too bright, but let me see. Yeah, there we go. Fortunately, it was a bit thicker than I wanted. Let me try to smooth that out. Oh, I just lost a bunch of detail. We'll see. I'll let that dry and see what it looks like. Maybe I'll go with a little bit of an ink and see if that fixes it. All right. Got to get the, I guess you wouldn't call it a buckle. It's really kind of more like a clasp for the sash. We'll go with our trusty brass again. And a little bit more. There we go. All right. So good there. His skin needs a bit of tone, I think. I've got a flesh wash here. That should do just the trick. I actually like using this flesh wash on wood too. But let's see how it looks on him here. Yeah, don't want it too much around the face. I want to keep that pretty bright, but his neck is just a little bit too light. I'm going to darken that up. Okay. Now we have the issue of these hafts here. Let's see what we can do about them. We need to give them some texture and depth. I'm thinking I've got a darker flesh wash. I think that'll work better. I've got it right over here. Just a little bit. Pop. Get. Stop being a bubble. There we go. All right. So just kind of go over this thing here. And this should smooth out the surface texture in addition to kind of shading around the joints and the supports. Get in there, you. I'm going to hit the same thing on the lighter wood as well. Again, to kind of add some depth and some character here. There we go. And now we can kind of start seeing it's really kind of making those ring supports pop out, and you can see them, which is good. You want to be able to see the detail in your model, even if there's Not really a reason for that feature to be there. All right. And I'm also going to hit the brass with this because really get some definition out of it and have it be nice and warm. There we are. Maybe a little much. Take some of that off. There we go. That's better. Okay. And let's go ahead and oil the steel. Give that some depth. Had it around here somewhere. Got this stuff. This is pretty good. It's a little bit lighter than I want. I thought I had a different one around here somewhere. Well, I might have run out of it. Oh, these things happen. No worries. We will use this. I can put a couple coats on. It'll work. Okay, so we'll just hit the gutter in the middle of the blade there. Let that pop out. Just a slight wash. This we're going to hit a little bit more heavily to kind of make the leaf of the spear point pop. There we go, like that. The scythe, ooh, a little heavy on the haft there. Let's take some of that off. Okay. Scythe blade, we're going to want it pretty heavy around the haft where we can see the rivets holding it all in. Same deal on the other side. Very good. And then we can just do a light washing on the blade because you do not walk around without oiling your steel back in the day because it would turn to rust super quickly. Same deal on the haft here. Kind of add nice heavy load here. That way that kind of darkens it up nicely. And same deal with the breastplate here. That is actually a bit darker than I intended. Let's soak some of that up. Wipe it off. Soak some of it up. Same deal back here, a little bit too heavy. Soak it off, wipe it out. Okay, there we go. Nice. Nice. So I'm going to have to let this face dry before I can go hit the eyes and the teeth. But I think the rest of them looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. All right. So, yeah, it's looking pretty decent. I'll just hit the base now. Get something a bit more. There we go. Go back to our good old friend here. Super brown. Painting the base. I'm going to have to get this thing out of it. And find a good place to hold him, which can't pick the gauntlets. Can't pick the... heck with it, I'll just hold it like this. It'll be fine. Alright. There we go. Put all that together. We'll spin this around. Get this side. There we go. I'd like to get that rim, but I'm not sure where it's safe to grab him. Shoulders, I guess. I'm grabbing by the shoulders. Except I can't really. Oh, his hair is dry. Here we go. I can do this. There we go. All right, set that down to dry. Close this, wash this out. And I'm just gonna let that dry. Perfect. Now I'll be right back. Okay, should be dry by now. Yep, looking pretty good. All right. So let's get those eyes. Start with white, obviously. Not going to need that much, but miniature painting. When a drop of paint is too much. All right, come on, you. Get in there. There we go. Get that off before I get it somewhere I don't want it. All right. I'm going to get the handle back for this because I'm going to want all of the control I can get my hands on. All right. So here we go. Get some of that. Thin it out. Thin it out. Oh man, what's going on? I swear this thing used to have a point. That's okay. Hang on. Get a smaller brush. Brand new. All right. Try this again. Okay, nice crisp point. Nice. All right. Here we go. Okay. And the other one. Oh man, there's like a little bit of lint. There's a little bit of lint right in the end. Any other part of the model, it wouldn't matter. Here we go. All right, you. Come out of there. There we go. I'm trying to get white in an eye socket. There we go. There we go. That's better. All right. Cool. And I've got... Can I get those teeth? Let me see if I can get those teeth. I think I can get those teeth. We'll just go right... There we go. Makes that smile kind of show up. And then he's got, interestingly enough, green eyes. I don't want to do the super vibrant. I'll do something a bit more, maybe something like this. Yeah, we'll try this. Is there... I think there's still some liquid paint in here. Yeah, there we go. All right. Some of that off. Gonna go hold my breath here. Need some water. And other side. So I do this upside down. Might work a bit better. A little more paint. Kind of. More water, touch it up. Boy, it's like, is the paint dry on that brush or something? It's just not. Might have to do with my wind tunnel AC, which is just kicked on, making an awful lot of noise. Not sure if you can hear it or not. Hopefully not. But let's see about now. All right. There we go. There we go. There we go. The AC quiets. Nice, nice. Well, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty darn good. Just need to do a little bit of touch up on that teeth, and I think just a dollop of flesh wash, actually, will kind of both calm it down. Oh my god, got water all over my... Nothing worse than having a dollop of water, a drop of water fall onto your paint where you don't want it. Just kind of dim that down a little bit. That's way too much. Way, way, way too much. There we go. Better. All right. I think that's basically John Tiller right there. Close that up. All right, and the last thing I think, and this base doesn't have any features on it, so we'll go ahead and want to flock it and get some grass on here and make it look a lot nicer. So for that, we're going to want this stuff, and we're going to want this stuff. It's grass. So put away the brush that I don't want anything bad to happen to. Get another brush, which I still don't want anything bad to happen to, but it's not the end of the world if it does. And I'm going to need to take this guy out of here. Oops. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to rock your world there. Alrighty. So put a little dollop. I've seen some people say that you need to water this stuff down. I don't think that's necessary. I've never found that to be that necessary. Just kind of paint it on here. Ooh, that's a big old dollop there. Maybe that's why they say water it down. That's fine, I'll just brush it off. And there will be some grass on his boot. But you know what? And that's what happens when you walk through a field. You get grass on your boot. If you're lucky, it's just grass. Someone who grew up in Florida, we get things called stickers. Which are like grass, but worse in every way. Wipe that excess glue off there. Make sure none of it dries in the brush, because I would very much like to use that brush again. All right, let's open this carefully. There we go. this thing for a number of years now. As you can see, I have actually never used even half of it. There we go. Nice generous amount in there. And it looks like I just buried him, but if we do this, and I'm not hitting the model, I'm hitting my thumb on the edge of the thing. And there he is. John Tiller standing right there, ready to go. Close this, get it out of the way. But yep, I think he came out pretty well right there. I am satisfied. All right, beautiful. Well, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And we'll have the rest of the party coming soon. Thanks. Bye-bye now.